Welcome to Aqualogy campus. Energy efficiency is today a priority, and that's why in this application we offer you to discover its importance with respects to the urban water cycle. You will learn about energy efficiency, its most relevant indicators, and some solutions to achieve it. The expected increase in population in the next 20 years, especially in the developing countries, will lead to a higher demand for energy around the world. To reach this growing demand, our traditional energy sources, mostly based on fossil fuels, will be needed. But we will also need to produce more energy based on renewable resources. However, the increase in energy production might not be sufficient to reach the future demand. So it will be necessary to implement measures of energy efficiency in order to ensure future sustainability. In addition to the balance between the offer and the demand, two other factors should be considered. First, the foreseen increase in the cost of energy in the future, together with the fact energy resources are unequally distributed around the world, which means many countries do not have a secure access to energy with their own resources and are highly dependent on the international market and on the geopolitical context. Second, it is important to stress the environmental challenge linked to climate change. The production and consumption of fossil fuel energy is one of the most important sources of greenhouse gas emissions to the atmosphere. These emissions contribute to global warming, which may lead to critical changes in our climate with severe consequences for life on Earth. According to the scientific community, to limit the temperature increase to less than 2.4 degrees Celsius, we should reduce our CO2 emissions by 50 to 85% as of 2050. The Kyoto Protocol is the international agreement which set the objectives of emission reduction during the past 7 years. From now on, new targets will be set for Horizon 2020. In this perspective, 3 key objectives have been set in Europe, known as the 2020-20 targets. These targets aim at a 20% reduction in energy consumption, a 20% cut in greenhouse gas emissions, and a 20% share of energy consumption coming from renewable resources. The 2011 European Directive on Energy Efficiency already underlines that energy efficiency is paramount to reach these goals. In this context, each country has to set its own plan in terms of energy efficiency. In the case of Spain, for example, a 2% decrease in energy consumption should be reached each year between 2011 and 2020. This will be achieved by implementing measures of energy savings and energy efficiency, most importantly in transport, construction, industry, agriculture and fishing, and public services, which includes the entire water cycle. What does energy efficiency mean? Energy efficiency means reducing the consumption of energy while maintaining the same service or performance, or increasing the production with the same amount of energy. So energy efficiency does not imply a decrease in living standards. On the contrary, it is the strategy to ensure them. How can energy efficiency be achieved? There are 2 factors which contribute to energy efficiency. On one hand, the implementation of innovative technologies which would decrease the energy consumption of a single product. And on the other hand, the introduction of more responsible consumption habits. This applies to households, but also to industries and organizations. Energy efficiency already is, today, a key factor for a company to be competitive and reduce its costs. The urban water cycle is an energy-intensive sector, and that's why it is important to know about energy efficiency, its indicators, and some innovative solutions to achieve it.